Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim, and welcome to the TNA, the show where your questions become my content. As always, if you'd like to get your questions in, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or send them directly to me at Tim Leftwich on Twitter. Now then, our first question comes from Umbi as a comment to our last YouTube video, who asks, when and why did you move to Austin? Oh God, let's see. I moved to Austin about 2 years ago now. It'll be 2 years next week. And I moved with my roommate Brian because where we were living, we weren't incredibly happy. The movie business had dried up in Shreveport when New Orleans dried up from Hurricane Katrina, and the movie business went back to where it wanted to be, which was in the southern part of the state where all the parties happen and, you know, the big cities are all down there. I get it. I totally get it. But that meant that I lived for like a year and a half as a food delivery boy in Shreveport, Louisiana. Not incredibly creatively fulfilling, as you might expect. And we decided that maybe a change of scenery might be the best thing for us. We had the smart idea to go ahead and line up a job interview over here, a couple of apartment viewings, and we took a trip 2, maybe 3 weeks before the actual move date to come all the way 6.5 hours over here to check out the place, apply for the job, which we actually got, thankfully, and start the whole move-in process the day we moved in and start making money the day after we moved in. Because let's face it, making money is kind of the hardest part of making a move. Like, you have this nest egg that you save up for something big like that, and then once it's all gone, you've kind of had that 2-week period where it takes you to actually find the job, and then a 2-week period after that where they're not quite paying you yet. It's rough. It's really rough doing something like that. But we did it because I had heard about this little company called Rooster Teeth that was moving and shaking here in Austin, and I kind of wanted to be a part of that. And my roommate Brian came with me because there were great schools here in town and great drafting and design opportunities, which is what he does. And so it just seemed like the smart move to make. And here we are. And our next question comes from A.H. Hirachnik, who asks, what was your original inspiration to make videos? Funnily enough, that actually stems very nicely into the first question. It was really out of boredom. I had a very creatively unfulfilling job, and I was very depressed because of it. Like, really bad. I would lock myself in my room for hours on end just watching YouTube videos going, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. And so I did. Like, I wish that it was a bigger decision than that, but it really wasn't. It was, I'm going to go ahead and invest $200 in a nice microphone, arm, and webcam so that I can actually perform these functions myself. Like, seriously, it's not that technically difficult to do what we do up here on camera. To make it look good, it takes a little bit of technical proficiency. But so I took the time to actually teach myself Premiere Pro with some great help from James McGregor, I Say What on the RT site, or you may know him, Jiminy Jamity, I think is his Twitter handle. Anyway, some good help from some good people and some good YouTube tutorials later, I started to make videos, and I made my first antechamber video, and you can hear it in the first episode where I'm like, let's try it this way. Can we just start recording now? I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I still don't really profess to know what the hell I'm doing. I just kind of make it up as I go along and do the best that I can, and, well, it's working out well so far. And our third question today comes from @LimoBase, who asks, are you single? If not, are you looking? Yes, I am actually currently single. Shock, surprise. By choice, mostly. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Mostly by choice. Honestly, work is just really taking up so much of my time that I feel like I would be a really bad boyfriend to someone that I actually cared about, that didn't actually work the same hours that I do, because it's insanely long. If you actually work a normal human being schedule around me, I'm terrible company because I wake up way later than you actually go to work. I come home way after you've gone to bed, and I'm usually up for 3 or 4 hours after that, continuing to work and yelling and screaming and carrying on. I'm kind of bad date material right now. I'm kind of bad date material right now, and I totally recognize that. So, honestly, there's no point in me subjecting someone else to do that who doesn't want to. So, I put myself out there. If some lady is interested in me and understands what she's getting into when she, well, gets into it with me, that's a different story. But for the most part, no, I'm not really looking. And our last question comes from Dari9602. Do you have any go-to things for stress relief? This is very therapeutic for me. I love making things, whether it be, videos like this or my corkboard paintings downstairs or my prop job over at RT or any special effects makeup, anything where I can come away with a project with a thing that didn't exist before, That's what makes me really happy. And the only thing that melts away my stress is things that make me happy. Maybe food, chocolate. And stress relief is very important as far as I'm concerned. Because if you don't let those feelings out in some way, then they're just going to keep compounding and keep building inside of you until you're like a tightly wound spring and you just burst. And nobody likes bursting or being bursted at. That's not fun. So I would rather take the time to just calm down and go into a place where I can either zone out for a little bit or come away with something new, having gotten everything out, and I feel much better about myself, about the situation, about whatever it is that's been bugging me. That's my best stress relief. So I think that's all our questions for today. I would like to thank everyone who submitted to this episode and to those who have questions that I've still yet to get to. And once again, keep those questions rolling in either in the comments below or directly to me at Tim Leftwich on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and as always, we'll see you next time.